Hey, good afternoon. Just got done with work and just had something I wanted to share that was on my mind during the day. And so I just wanted to give you 5 more minutes of food for thought, just something to consider. I'm reading from Luke 10, verses 38 through 42. And it says, as they traveled along, Jesus entered a village where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. She had a sister named Mary who sat at the Lord's feet listening to his message. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations to be made. She came to Jesus and said, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her to help me. Martha, Martha, the Lord replied, you are worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion, and it will not be taken away from her. Now, of course, there are social expectations and personal upbringing and personal desires at this time in the Jewish people and life. And this is Martha's home, it says, and she has welcomed Jesus into it. So certainly there's pressure on herself. There are aspects of this passage that are important, but I really want to focus on the word chosen. I've been doing a lot of reading and studying and research and going through passages, looking at all the words that you and I as Christians deal with when we think of being chosen. And so this is just one of them. While Martha's worried and upset about what is not necessary, she feels compelled to be distracted by the tyranny of the urgent preparations. There is a sense where she does choose, but it is certainly under a self-induced sense of outward pressure, maybe even. It feels as if she must do all this service. I mean, who's going to make the food? This is my home. This is what's expected. And there would certainly be consequences, perhaps of reputation from neighbors, family, perhaps even the master, she thinks, might think less of her. Now, Mary also has a choice to make. She, from out of her heart, she chooses for herself to sit and listen at the Lord's feet. Jesus says only one thing is necessary, and that the good portion, is what he calls it, is what Mary has chosen. It is important to notice that Mary has no distraction, no compulsion, no worry at the Lord's feet. She is there by choice. It came from her heart. She does it for herself. She didn't have to be. She wanted to be there. She was making her humility, her attention to him, and his presence her own. She chose it for herself. In one way, she is appropriating, making her own, what Jesus is and says and does. It is he who is for all, the blind, the mute, the Pharisee, even the centurion. But Mary makes what he is for herself by her choice. Jesus speaks to his disciples, the crowds, the multitudes, even the Romans. What he says is for all to hear, but Mary listens to it and makes it her own. Mary was doing something Martha did not do. Somebody might call her selfish, but if you had the opportunity to sit at Jesus' feet, isn't that where you'd want to be? So the question is will you appropriate and make all that Jesus is and does and says your own? What are your choices? What are the things that God is bringing to you that you have to, out of your own heart, make your own? You have to appropriate it for yourself. Your Bible might be sitting there. You've got to make it your own. You've got to choose it and choose it for yourself. Church is there Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, all kinds of other times perhaps, wherever you might be. But you've got to make that assembly, that fellowship, that participation, you've got to make it your own. Nobody can make that choice for you. There's so many things in our lives that are there, but nobody can make that choice for you. Mary made it for herself. You and I have to make it for ourselves. So this is just a little food for thought. What are you feeding your mind on today? I pray you would taste and see that the Lord is good. God bless you.